Hey guys, what's going on? Luke here from Nerdy Geek Talk, the source of all your nerdy geeky needs. And today joining me is my brother at arms and my brother for life. Ha, I did that right. Eric, known as Aramis Prime. That'll make sense in like 2 seconds, I promise. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
I was gonna try and work in like clone names, but I couldn't think of how to do it.
That's okay.
Like if you can work in the word droid bait, that'd be great.
I was just gonna say that you're kind of a heavy guy.
That's a really good cut up.
Yeah, so that's the episode we watched this week. Oh, John's not here because he's dead. You know, what a
Yeah,
bummer.
he didn't pass the clone exam.
It's okay. Hopefully he'll be back next week though. But yeah, like you said, episodes we did this week are, oh shoot, what's it called? Is it called
Clone,
Brothers in Arms?
it's Clone Cadets
Clone
and
Cadets.
supply lines.
Wait, what's his last one?
Clone Cadets and supply
Supply
lines.
lines. That's a
This is
very
why I write this shit down.
supply lines. That's the only thing I didn't write down was the titles because I knew someone else would.
Oh, you
I
suck.
have the quotes. You didn't get the second quote, so we're even.
Well, I have as one of my notes at the bottom is why is he such a dick?
Wait, who?
It's like someone from Clone Cadets. I think it was like
It's Brick.
one of the bounty
It's
hunters.
Brick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, why is he such a dick?
Oh yeah, I wrote that. He's literally a traitor, but we'll get into that. First off,
Spoilers.
I just want to say, so we're gonna start with Clone Cadets because that's season 3, episode 1. That is, which I gotta say, that's a strong season premiere.
This is like one of the few episodes I remember like watching it when it first came out, and it was always like one of my favorite
Mhm.
ones.
Is it just me, or because I know we go season 3, episode 1, and then the next one we're doing is 3, which is also in this episode.
Yeah.
Um, is episode 2? Is that the ARC Troopers episode?
It is. Let me see
I
here.
think it is.
Season 3, episode 2. I'm trying to find it.
I
It
think
probably
it
is.
because they introduced 99. I feel like they immediately afterwards had the second episode where he's in it, and it's also them returning to Camino, Echo and Fives.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So season 3, episode 2. Yep, it's ARC Troopers. I was right.
That's
That makes
sad.
sense.
I don't want to see that happen for a while.
That's not
That's-
going to happen for a while.
Thank
Although, in
God.
all fairness, this was like guilting me already just because I
I'm
know
gonna
it
be
goes
really
down.
sad. Yeah,
But,
one of my notes in all caps. I love 99.
dude, I literally wrote it multiple times. I think he's the most sympathetic character in all of Star Wars.
Not like the people that get like lobotomized or anything.
Nope, don't care about him.
General Grievous who got tricked and blown up.
Nope. Don't get me wrong, I love General Grievous, but I feel more sympathy for 99 than literally anyone else in Star Wars. But in this episode, we do get 2 more clone variations on armor, because we're not talking paint, although
Dude,
next
the
episode they get awesome paint.
fucking love the cadet armor. I just
Yeah,
love
the
way they look.
cadet armor is the
Why
first
don't they
one.
use that?
Why don't they use that? Because
I love
it's
that
not
as
that
armor.
good. Didn't you notice how once they got shot once, they were just down?
Yeah, that's how all clone armor works.
Ah, not Keely. You didn't watch the second episode. Keely gets
Oh
shot
yeah, the
multiple
captain.
times.
Yeah, he
Yep.
had main character immunity. He's cool.
But yeah, there's the training armor, which is totally different armor, and then the other armor we see is ARC Trooper armor. So that's the first time we see ARC Troopers in canon, in you know what I mean, seeing. So like TV and movies, obviously. So
Yeah. What's the difference about it?
difference with the armor?
Yeah,
Did you
because
not
is that from
notice
like
their
the
helmet?
Rancor squad?
Well, no, Commander Colt is with the Rancor battalion or squad. I can't remember, but no, they have they did you not notice their helmets?
I did not. I gotta be
They have
honest.
phase 2-ish helmets. They're not the same,
Oh,
but
okay.
this is during phase 1, so they had phase 2 helmets for anyone else, but they aren't the same as phase 2 because they actually have the fin. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
The fin that
okay.
goes back. So it's phase 2 with the fin, which I've always loved because that's like literally taking my favorite aspects of all the clone helmets and combining them of the regular clone helmets, where you have the fin, but also the phase 2 part. So it's like, that's my favorite helmet, probably, not counting super specialized ones.
So,
Um,
one that hasn't watched this episode for some reason, I don't get why, because this is one of the best storylines in Clone Wars.
This is
Uh,
actually essentially a prequel. Now, this is the first time we're seeing
Yeah.
Domino Squad in canon, in line. But really, their episode debuted during season 1, I believe, right?
Yeah,
They're
because
definitely
Fives
season
is around a lot.
Season 1, so is Echo. Season 1 is where they debuted, and spoiler alert, a lot of them die.
Did they
But
die in season 1?
most of them, not Echo and Fives,
God damn it, I'm gonna be
all of
upset.
them, they all died in the episode they debuted in. Not
That's
counting
really
99.
upsetting.
Not counting 99.
That's really upsetting because I didn't realize. I thought they all just like died throughout the series.
No,
That's really upsetting
it's
to me.
Echo and Fives die later. I think everyone else dies on the moon base of Rishi. I believe that's where it
What
is.
the fuck?
Because that was their debut. Um,
That's
so
upsetting.
they didn't intend for them to be such characters. This came later, season 3, as we said. This was the season premiere, and it's a strong season premiere. We'll have to look once we get through the series. I would have to say this is probably my favorite. I think this is the strongest opening to any of the seasons. I'm not
That's
saying it's the
okay.
strongest episode, period.
Uh,
But in terms of a season debut, I'd say this is probably top notch.
okay, so I guess to go over the episode real quick. Like I said, there's no reason not to like it. It starts out with an underdog story. I think
Yep.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, for sure. Domino
It's
Squad sucks.
Domino Squad just sucks ass because they don't work together. And even on top, like they're pretty good on their own. Like given the fact they're fighting like a whole army at once, like a whole squad at once, that's pretty impressive. Like on your own, but you kind of need teamwork in a war.
Hmm.
They get their ass kicked, and everyone's like, "Well, you guys suck. So why should we keep you as soldiers when we can just have you maintenance shit with the perfect clone of 99?"
Yeah, we get 99 introduced. But yeah, basically to recap the episode super briefly is they're training, they can't do it, they suck. Basically 99 encourages Heavy. Brick, who's a terrible bounty hunter, encourages Cut Up by beating the crap out of him. And basically they all end up working together in the episode. Also, Echo and Fives had their first moment together as being just a duo rather than
Uh,
part of the squad.
One of the things I just thought of like 20 minutes ago when I was driving home is the like when Shock T talks to them, she's like, "Oh, it's like you're an individual and a group," because they all went and did their own thing and came back as one group. Like they had different reasons why they stuck with the group, and I'm like,
Yep.
"Oh, I get it. Like that's really good writing right there."
Yeah, it is. But they end up banding together, and then they succeed. They pass the test and everything, and they graduate. So that's the story of the episode. I don't think there's really much more to it than that. So let's get in breaking it down. Did you take notes or no?
Of course I did.
All right. Well, I'll start off with mine, and then we'll just go through yours if you have any left that I
Well,
don't have.
do you want to start off with like the clones themselves?
So I literally write mine down as we go through the episode. So mine's
Yeah,
just
that's what
literally
I
as
do.
the episode. So first off, the quote: "Brothers in arms are brothers for life." Yep, it's about the clones, and I am a huge clone fan. So I honestly don't think there's a ton you need to break down about that quote. It's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, it's even more specific because they usually die in war.
Yeah. So there you go. Next thing I have is why do they have bounty hunters training clones instead of?
Yeah,
I understand why
I,
I understand why Jedi aren't training clones. Like that makes sense, but why aren't the ARC troopers training the clones?
that's what I don't get. Is like why are we paying these people that like go around and break in the law to begin with?
Well, no. Okay, just to be clear, bounty hunters aren't bad to begin with. It's
I
just
know,
the
I know.
jobs that they take. Some
Why
are
don't
bad. Like Cad Bane
why
is a
not
bad
go to
guy.
like why
But
not go get freaking Mandalorians to train them?
that's a really good question. I
Like
think it's because the Mandalorians don't. Oh no! You know why?
why?
The Mandalorians are peaceful right now.
They're never peaceful.
No. They are. Remember? We
Oh
have
right,
that whole arc coming up. They actually are. Like there are no warring Mandalorians right now.
that's crazy. That's
For the
weird.
the like
That
only time in their history, pretty much.
that
That's
would have been
something that it gets completely erased by Rebels too. Like I mean, by the end of Clone Wars, it's obviously like there's warring factions, but by Rebels, it's completely reverted back to the state to pre-Clone Wars. But as of right this moment, the reason they aren't having Mandalorians is because there's no Mandalorian warriors.
okay. Damn it! I thought that was a smart idea.
No, in all fairness, it would be if they could, but they can't. So,
Yeah.
but in all honesty, I'm like, why can't they have the ARC troopers do it? I guess maybe it's because the ARC troopers are out doing badass ARC trooper stuff. Like maybe they need to, and these hunters aren't as good. I don't know though. Like you
Why
think
did you get
that?
the worst bounty hunters? That's what I don't get.
Well, the one guy is not bad. It's just Brick that sucks.
Well, they both kind like I don't know.
But yeah, Brick and Ellis are the two bounty hunters we see in this episode training them, And all I can say is Brick is
Brick's a
meant
dick.
to be the most unlikable character like ever, pretty much, I think.
Like his design's kind of annoying,
Yeah, he looks like a giant brain. Um,
but he's not smart.
no. And then there's Ellis, who is nice. I think we see his species more later.
Yeah, what species is he?
I can't remember the name. I want to say that there's a bounty hunter that's like a smaller yellow version of him.
They look pretty cool.
But yeah, I like his species. He's super nice, super compassionate. They're meant to be opposites, obviously. Um, but like, I thought it was too much of that. Like, they could have made them both more middle ground. Like, he was pure, like Ellis was like pure and just like naive and everything, whereas Brick was just negative to the point where it just doesn't even make sense. Um, His
Yeah,
character is
I don't.
also somewhat irrational, but it's specifically they want you to sympathize with Ellis, who's sympathizing with the clones, versus Brick. They want you to hate him because he's rooting against the clones. It's mainly to build up. They're just accessories to the story for the clones, and so by those means,
Yeah.
it's successful because you come off sympathizing with Ellis and you do not with Brick, and
So
so it just helps the clones out. But either
yeah,
way,
and
I don't understand why they're getting trained. Also, why is he named Brick?
I figured that was just so you associate it with Dick. In all honesty,
I thought it was just because he is a brick.
yeah,
He's
it's
just
like
an
both
idiot,
those
but
things.
next note I
You got
have is
shocked.
wait, what were you
You
gonna
got
say?
Shakti training them. You got Shakti training, which I found interesting.
I kind of wonder why it's Shock T there versus
I want to
anyone
say it's because
else.
she's just smart.
I don't know.
Cause like, where's she get gunned down? And no, she's on like a different planet when she gets gunned down in Order
No, in
66.
canon, she gets killed by Anakin in the Jedi Temple.
Really?
Yeah, and in
I thought she gets
Legends,
shot in like that crazy ass. It's like a really
okay, no,
red
no,
planet.
actually, she has the
Wow,
most deaths out of like any Jedi. In Legends, she gets killed by Starkiller.
that's
Um,
sad.
but that didn't happen anymore because she went off to what's the planet? Felucia. That's where she died. She betrayed Maris Brood. Was that her name? I don't remember. But either way, um,
That's really sad.
Shaak Ti died there at the hands of Starkiller, but she did make an impact on him. But that changed when deleted scenes from Revenge of the Sith came out, where Shaak Ti was the one that helped Anakin and Obi-Wan find Grievous's ship. Like that's how they got in and knew where to go and everything, was that she had a tracking beacon. And there's a deleted scene where Grievous confronts them in the hallway and stabs her and kills her. But that
What
was
the hell?
that's a deleted scene, so that never happened. So General Grievous isn't the one that killed her. In canon, we see a hologram where Anakin, during the raid on the Jedi Temple during Order 66, he stabs her in the back while she's meditating.
Oh,
Also, I
okay.
think she's making a holocron, which gets passed down to someone eventually, and that's how that's known, is that they see it through the holocron. I could be wrong on that,
That's crazy.
but yeah. So I'm not sure why she's there. I know she's not much of a fighter. She's either usually at the temple or there, but
I
I'm
mean, she's
curious.
not bad at her job.
No, I'm just curious why she's there. She does have some interesting lines in this, though. Um, Next thing. Heavy and Echo fight each other about being ARC troopers. And I find it ironic because it's like Heavy's the one engaging, like saying, no, I'm going to be an ARC trooper, like, you suck. Meanwhile, Echo's the one that becomes an ARC trooper. But it's just an interesting thing I wanted to point out.
Yeah. Do you want to go over their names real quick?
Well, we don't know all their names yet because they're not named yet.
Well, yes, they are.
No, they're not. That happens throughout the episode.
Yeah,
Heavy doesn't have his name yet.
I know, but we can just run over that real quick.
That goes in the order of the episode. Just go
I didn't
through the
realize we had to
episode.
do it in perfect fucking order.
Yeah, we're just breaking down the episode as it goes, you genius. That's how you
You
write
just
the
said
notes.
Heavy and Echo. So,
Well, yeah, but I'm not talking about how they got their name yet because that happens later in the episode.
let's just use their clone numbers.
All right, CT 5555. No, yeah. So they fight, which I thought was ironic because Echo does have his name at that point because he gets it in the opening. So Echo Echo and Fives are the ones that get theirs in the opening because they're simple. Echo literally just repeats orders, and then
That's what's called Echo.
Fives just has a bunch of fives in his name, and that's
Yeah, I
literally
like that. Yeah, Fives is like, okay, Heavy is now C2-782.
227-82. Oh, really?
CT-782, yeah.
Huh. Um, but yeah, so they're fighting, and then afterwards you find out that the bounty hunters are called Master Chief, which is just odd. They called Brick Master Chief multiple times, um, because I like Halo a lot, so I was just like, oh, that's Master Chief.
That's your standard.
I was gonna say wow, but I just find it interesting that that rank is actually in Clone Wars, like that's in Star Wars, but it
Yeah,
almost
I
means
actually want to
nothing
know.
because literally you just see them next to cadets, so obviously they outrank them. But I'm curious what a Master Chief would rank anywhere else. Like
Well, since
comparing
you said that's good that you said.
that I said that. Why are you gonna look it up? Because remember last time we looked up rank, it's basically like
So sorry about that. We're gonna have to cut that out real quick, but
yeah.
my computer shut down for some reason. But I actually wanted to do a video like going through the ranks of like the Star Wars Army.
Oh yeah, even though they're almost irrelevant because they change depending on the situation.
Yeah, okay, Eric. Maybe I get multiple videos and views. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm not, that would actually be an interesting video to go over the different scenarios where they seem to outrank each other, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just
Um,
gonna make a flow chart of how it works.
but either way, next we have I have Shock T's line where she says, no, it's one of is it
I
Kaminoan?
just say
Kamin,
Kamenans,
I think it's
Kimonos, Kimonos.
Kaminoan. I want to say it's Kaminoan.
Dude, they're fucking pricks.
Yeah, they are. They are jerks. Like
I hate
seriously.
them.
But well, not all of them, because there's that one nice one in Attack of the Clones. But we see more of them being jerks later. But yeah. There's one that's talking to Shock T, and he says, "Oh, are you concerned?" Shock T replies with a line, "A Jedi doesn't feel concerned." And then I'm paraphrasing, but basically, yeah, but I'm concerned, which I thought was just like she said something else, but it was basically the summary of what she said was Jedi don't feel concerned, but I'm concerned for them.
And they were talking about getting
A new
a new,
host, which
like
I'm curious
yeah.
why they never did.
Is that ever followed up on?
No, because I think that they're talking about because maybe the DNA is going bad because we've had this batch that seems not going
Oh
well,
yeah.
but then they
Okay.
end up doing great, so it's like,
I l-
well, I guess it's not bad. So
I love that one of the code names is Droid Bait.
yes,
That's
um,
like he does he keep that?
I think so.
Because he even like lures the guns away like later in the episode.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember all their names. It's so there's
There's Cut Up, Heavy, Echo, Fives, and Droid Bait.
okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. And then Sarge is the other one that's with them on the station later, whenever we see them again. Um, but yeah, I thought it was just weird that basically Shakti's like, I Jedi or do not feel concerned, but yeah, I'm concerned for these clones. But yeah, I guess it's because they end up doing great. I'm also trying to look. Okay, never mind. There is a little reference, but that's later, and it has to do with something I said. But
Yeah. But
um,
that's
there's Commander Colt is the first ARC Trooper we're ever introduced to in canon by
he's
name of ARC Trooper,
yes.
and he's from the Rancor. I can't remember if it's squad, battalion, or
I
what.
think it's Squad.
I want to say it's a battalion. I want to say that because I don't think he leads just a squad. I'm pretty sure he leads more. But either way, um, he's introduced, and wow, I love him. That's one of my. I love the ARC Troopers. They're some of my favorite like designs and just clones in general. And you see him, Blitz, and I don't know
Oh,
the other one.
yeah,
There's
it's
another one
Rancor
that's
Squad.
there's another one. It's Squad, really, huh?
Yeah.
Then there's another one that's blue. I mean, Colt is like blue and red, dark blue and red. But there's Colt, Blitz. I know their names. Blitz is the yellow and black one. But then there's another one with like a lighter blue, and I don't know his name. But we will see these ARC Troopers later again in canon, so we don't have to worry about too much about that. But this is the first time we're introduced to them, and I just gotta say I love the ARC Troopers. Um, well, I also slightly skipped over is whenever they're debating giving up on Domino Squad. She's like, "No, we can't give up on them. They're human beings. Like they need to be soldiers, not just sitting around here like cleaning up garbage and everything." And it's like, "Oh yeah, but forget about 99. Like we just
Yeah.
gave up. We didn't even give them a chance. Like oh well."
That's so sad.
I
I
know.
love 99.
Man.
Like,
Um, yeah. Oh,
that's
also, wait, I have
sometimes.
a question.
Yeah.
Bravo unit. Do we see them again or anything? Because that name
Yeah,
sounded
dude.
familiar.
I was gonna like look that up at like later, like for like the squad video. I wanted to like go through like badass squads they had. I'm like, I really want to see if they're actually they go on to do something.
I want to say that I don't know, they sound familiar. So I feel like they,
Wikipedia, help me out.
I don't know, maybe they don't at all. But
Bravo Squad.
oh, wait. Okay, they're in the Battle of Christophsis, and then also the Battle
Christoph
of
says,
CV. They're called a clone cadet. Oh, wait, these are all different. I think they're all different squads. Let's see, because oh, Bravo Squad's also a clone commando squad. I don't think that's them though.
I
No,
don't
that's
know.
no. I mean that was in Legends, but the clone commandos are canon, but that not this specific
Yeah,
squad,
that's
and I
weird.
believe their names are probably different.
Yeah, it just gives the numbers for them right now.
Let's look at, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I believe that this is. Yeah, this is different. So they would be the clone cadets. Let's see, do they pop up later at all? Nope. All right.
Yeah, just like Spark.
Yeah, Spark the stealth trooper.
I'm
That's odd.
noticing a pattern here going through the episodes.
I mean, there's just billions of clones in the army, so like I understand, but it just seems like there's little this one didn't have as big of a setup as Spark did, though. Like Spark was really set up like he was like it was like, oh, this character is going to do something or be important at some point or contribute something, but literally nothing ever. It's odd. Bravo Squad, that's just a thing that I thought I knew from somewhere, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's so.
Uh,
They like the way they talked about like maintenance. Like Finn was a custodian. Does that mean like he sucked as a first order soldier?
uh, in all fairness, the First Order probably did things different than the Republic, just because it is like a almost like 100 years apart at that point. But I don't know. I think the
But
clones, it's different. I think the clones had a lot of like literally deformed, like clones that were considered failures that could not go into battle. Like they were considered unable to go into battle.
yeah,
Like 99, I think that's what they mainly have. But I guess if you fail, also too. But the First Order, I feel like Finn was trained as a stormtrooper, and then he ended up being a stormtrooper later. In all honesty, I think he was a custodian just so it could be a joke. And
yeah. I don't know.
but I
That
feel
was like my
like
first thought.
maybe if he's ends up going into combat later, maybe he got better and got another chance, or maybe the First Order has it so like that's part of training. Like during when you're a cadet, they are assigned the task of cleaning and stuff. Maybe in
Yeah,
the First Order, that's just my
I
guess.
know.
I don't know.
Something I don't really understand is like maybe I just need to look into psychology. Is like why the clones all have like such varying personality.
Um, I think that's mainly it's for story reasons, but
Yeah,
in all
like
fairness, if you were raised slightly different, different aspects of yourself would come out. Plus, they've said before that the genetic template isn't perfect, like in this. Uh,
I'm pretty sure one of the clones had like a British accent. I'm like
I don't know. I
I'm
think
pretty
some of
sure.
it they actually have programmed. They've programmed them to be slightly different too. Like if I'm pretty sure that they do that on purpose, but I don't
It's
know in
like
all honesty. So
and Heavy is Heavy their leader?
yes,
Okay.
he's not the next time we see them. Not he's probably in charge of the squad, but there's also Sarge who is in charge of the squad at the base rap because Sarge has seen combat. Sarge also dies pretty fast, but he's not in this episode. So, um,
Spoilers.
but like I said, probably we don't see them. Oh,
Yeah.
also, holy crap! They just totally disregarded. Which one was it that got injured during their test?
Probably droid bait.
Jeez. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he got down, like, continue the mission. Like, no, he was actually hurt, and they're like, no, just screw it, like, keep going.
Yeah, they even talked about that. They're like, "Oh, how's your shoulder, man?"
I know,
Like when they're
but, like,
up the test again.
shouldn't they have known that was a rule, for one, that you can't leave someone behind? But two, he was actually hurt. Like, you could start a test over again. The guy was actually injured. Like, geez. I know it's to set up so they could take the test again later, but, like, man, that just made them seem heartless.
I don't know.
Because it wasn't like they didn't notice. They specifically were like, he's injured. Who cares? Leave him. Like, wow. All right.
Oh, so this is like the last thing I want to say, which kind of confused me. Why why didn't the Republic use like droids and troopers?
Um, I mean, they use droids to operate stuff, but droids are
Yeah,
not
like
good for
they
combat.
show they have battle droids that are the exact same as like the B1s and the
They're
B2s.
repurposed. Those are actual battle droids. They repurpose them, or they might have bought them from the manufacturers. But
Like I just find that kind of weird that they would do that.
I feel like that would make it too complicated. If you had the same droids that your enemies has, that'd make spying a lot easier. Also, just clones were way better. I mean, clones were
Yeah.
more expensive.
Yeah,
But
there's like 5 of them taking on like 30 droids.
yeah, exactly. Um, then we get to the point where I'm just later. I put Ellis is very passionate, but we already talked about that. But yeah, like, geez, he is really like wow. But we need
Yeah, he's a weird
we
bounty
need them
hunter.
to be the best and everything. I'm like, okay. Then we get our first little nod in canon because again, as I said, this is later. In like real life when this came out, um, everyone except Fives and Echo are dead, I believe. So Fives and Echo are already a pair in the series, but this is the first time in canon that we ever see Fives and Echo acting independently, and that's whenever they go to Shock T to talk to her, like, hey, we want to get transferred, maybe to Bravo Squad, but whatever. But I just think it was interesting that they're already setting up that relationship with the two of them specifically. That it's not just like, oh, the entire squad is super tight. I mean, they become super tight, but the entire squad is super tight, and there's only two left, and that's why they're so bonded. No, they already have a bond even before the squad got tight. So I thought that was a good setup, just a nice little thing. It wasn't intrusive at all
Yeah.
because it made sense that everyone was going their little ways to find out what they needed to become a good team. But I like that little setup. Then
I
Brick
think
versus Cut Up. This little fight gives Cut Up his name, and it shows that he's the sarcastic one, like he's funny the entire time. But Brick literally says the entire time to Ellis, like, this is a job. I don't care. Like, why do you care? Like, you're just ridiculous. But then he calls Cut Up specifically because, you're making your team not do a good job. You annoy the crap out of me. Like, I hate you. Like, he's caring about it.
wasn't
He's
it Brick that wasn't it Heavy that was a dick to Brick though?
that, like, fought him.
No, and like earlier in the episode, isn't like Heavy like blatantly a dick to him?
I don't think so.
Like it was like after he fought Echo.
I think he was just being. I think he was just angry. I don't remember if he aimed any insults specifically to him or not. Either way, I don't think that Heavy was just kind of a jerk to everyone beforehand, so I wouldn't really say that was specifically aimed at him. Although,
Yeah.
just to be clear, none of them liked him, and that was pretty obvious, and he knew that too. So, but yeah, he got really personal with Cut Up, which was just odd. But it gave Cut Up his name. Um, and then they also mentioned maybe they're a bad batch. I just find that interesting because that specific name is used to describe a squad later in
Bum, bum,
deleted
bum.
episodes of the Clone Wars, which we will get to at some point because those are
Yes!
modeled, but they're not finished. But the Bad Batch is an actual clone squad, and man, they're interesting. So,
Are they actually good?
oh god, they're amazing. They're probably like one of the best clone squads. They're also the most unique. That's what they're called, the Bad Batch, for a reason. Uh,
All right.
they're
I think that's good
literally
for this episode, though.
defects, but either way, yeah. Also, 99 is literally the most sympathetic
I
character
love
ever,
mine.
and
So
also Brick's a literal like traitor, and then they like just shrug it off because Brick literally sabotages them on their test, which is like that's against so many rules, and then they're just like, actually, you know what? It's cool because the enemy cheats too, so why don't we just cheat? Like,
yeah,
really?
she was kind of a bitch
I
there.
was like, that makes no sense. But whatever, either way, it all turned out good, and they made it. And then Heavy gave 99 his badge, which I believe we do see again. Yes, we
Yeah.
do. We see it.
He's wearing it
I-
because like, oh, you know our names. He's like, I don't forget a brother.
Uh-huh. I also know that he specifically has it whenever he dies too. But
Yeah, I do want to start watching though to see like what Jedi like use the clones' names or not.
I
Because Brick's like, oh, you guys have your own silly names for each other.
yeah, I believe I know Anakin always does. Anakin
Yeah.
uses like every single one. I think Obi-Wan knows most of his. Like I think he calls several by name. I don't know how well Yoda knows his. I'm
I
trying to
like that
think, but
Rex and Cody are just normal names.
in all fairness, Rex is it fits with the clones, but Cody is like I don't know. It's short, so it fits with the clones, but I don't know. It's odd. There's a lot of clone names though. We'll get to plenty. But either
Yeah.
way, next episode, which is called Supply Route.
Supply lines.
Supply lines. The opening quote is "Where there's a will, there's a way," and I feel that's just talking about the political aspect, not really the part that I really like about this episode. So, in all honesty, well, I don't think we're going to talk about it as much. Do you?
Dude, okay, let me just establish this first. I don't really like Bail Organa,
I don't
but
hate him, but I don't love
but
him
in like
either.
this episode, this is how I picture like Black Panther should be in the movies. Like when he's not Black Panther, like when he's just being the king. Like this is how I picture he should be.
I don't think you understand Black Panther.
You can go fuck yourself, Harry.
No, he's literally the king of a nation that's more civilized
Yeah,
and advanced than anyone else in the entire world. It's
I
secret.
just meant like the way he conducts himself.
I think he's more bold, which he deserves to be. Because I wouldn't say he's arrogant, like he's sort of like Bale. He's not as nice as Bale, I think, though. But I mean,
No,
we'll have to see when the movie comes out. But in all fairness, yeah, I think that he's not as nice as Bale, and in all honesty, he shouldn't be. He doesn't need to be.
this is why we have differing opinions.
Um, but yeah, that has to do with the fact that there's this whole setup for Toydaria, which this is a prequel to really the first episode of the Clone Wars that premiered, which is an episode with Yoda on Toydaria. This was setting it up. So the beginning is we see General Dai, who is awesome. You'll get his full name revealed
Really?
at the end. And then,
We're-
oh god,
That's-
this is the first time we see Jar Jar Binks in the Clone Wars.
My second note of the episode is no.
I put, oh god, it's Binks, ... I gotta be honest though, I didn't entirely hate him every second he was on screen. I don't get me wrong, I didn't wish he was there, but like, there were some moments where I was just like, okay, he's annoying. But overall, he actually did somewhat help, and he wasn't the worst.
Yeah, because it's like, oh shit, he actually knows the situation.
Yeah, so he wasn't terrible. He did do stuff, so this series makes him at least somewhat redeemable at moments. This was one of them where I was like, he is annoying, but he at least served a purpose, he helped, so that's good. First off, the Toydarians. You cannot pass! Oh, you have this funny alien, ambassador with you? Oh, yeah, we need to deliver a message to your king. I'm sorry, we'll give you whatever you want, but you cannot pass. Actually, we're just gonna pass. Okay. Like, that was just really weird. They specifically said it multiple times, like, you cannot go anywhere. Like, we will give you whatever you need so you can keep going, but you cannot go anywhere. And they say, we're politicians, we need to talk to your leader. They're like, no, you can't talk to our leader. Okay, just walk right by you. Like, okay. I guess they're just armored guards for no reason, but whatever. And then Trade Federation. We get introduced to Lot Dodd, who is the senator for the Trade Federation, which I want to get into just a little bit first. First we'd say, do we see him again later or not?
We see him die.
I actually don't remember how he dies, so don't tell me, because that'll
I
actually
know,
surprise me.
like, doesn't he get killed by Anakin? Or they all look the same to me, so.
Oh, no, I mean in the Clone Wars. No, this is not... No, you didn't understand. You didn't listen to half the dialogue that he had then.
No, I did, but that was just like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing.
No, he's not part of the Trade Federation. Newt Gunray is one of the leaders of the Trade Federation. Not the Trade Federation, the Separatists. He was the leader of the Trade Federation. He left for the Separatists. He started the Separatists. He's a Republic senator, Lot Dodd.
Oh, I thought that was just like, oh, I'm not part of the Separatists, nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
No, he's a senator for the Republic. Now, they made it clear that Count Dooku has ties to him, so he might be somewhat corrupt or whatever. either way, he's still listening to the Separatists, but he is an actual Republic senator. The Separatists themselves are not, like, they are the ones that are at war with. Obviously, they separated themselves from the Republic, whereas the Trade Federation still maintains a stance within the Republic, which I thought was interesting. That's the first time we hear that in canon, which I just find that complicates things a bit, and it's interesting that they went that route. Whereas, most other factions where when their leader, is like, we're joining the Separatists, they all went with them. Newt Gunray didn't get the Trade Federation too, but whatever. I'm curious, Lot Dodd, I wonder if he's one of the ones that's in the Phantom Menace, because Newt Gunray has several with him.
Yeah.
I'm curious if he is, like, if any of them are specifically named Lot Dodd or not.
I'm sorry, they look the same to me.
But I'm pretty sure he pops up in the Clone Wars again at some point. I could
Oh,
be wrong.
Dude, the freaking... Since what are the Toydarians good people?
They always were. No, well, I say they always were, but our first introduction to them is obviously, I can't even remember his name. Wow, that's kind of sad.
Like the dude that had Anakin.
Yeah, Watto.
I just thought they were all dicks.
No, Watto's just, no. The whole species as a whole is peaceful. Watto he's living on Tatooine, that's why he's a jerk. No, honestly, anyone that lives on Tatooine.
Weird. Like, oh, these people are actually really cool.
Yeah, they're really nice and everything, whereas Watto is not. So it appears that Lot Dodd, yes, is actually... Okay, so he is in the Phantom Menace. I just checked. He's in the Phantom Menace because he is the one, whenever Phantom Menace is, like, whenever the occupation of the planet is starting Naboo, he's the one that's in the Senate, like, denying it. Because Newt Gunray was there and everything, like, leading it, whereas... Lot Dodd was there saying, he's the one in the Senate saying, like, no way, like, we're not, what are you talking about? We're not here. Like, we're not doing that. Like, you don't have any evidence. It also says that he uses a position. Yeah, it says that he uses his position to claim he's not a member of the Separatist Alliance, but really he was helping them out. And he just said Gunray was a fanatic, whereas he was really helping him. It says that he helps Rush Clovis later, so I do think we see him again. I think I was right. Okay. I did remember him. So I think we see him again later. But anyway, whatchamacallit?
What's the Twi'lek planet called?
Ryloth, which this is very much not the last time we will see Ryloth.
Did we see Hera at all as a kid?
See, now I'm confused because at the end of the last episode we watched, Season 3, Episode 3, the Supply Line's the one we're talking about now, I saw the trailer that aired whenever this episode aired for the next episode, but I don't think this one comes up for a long time. This is the one that has Greedo. And it says that he kidnapped, or I don't remember, he's involved with somehow with the kidnapping of Cham Syndulla's 2 daughters. Now, Cham Syndulla has...
I saw a brown one.
There's multiple. I don't think she's in the episode, like specifically, like because we've looked around. I think that Hera specifically is never in the Clone Wars, and I think that her 2 siblings show up later in Rebels, but Hera was never seen. I could be wrong, but as of right now, it's possible that one of those 2 daughters could be Hera. I don't remember.
Yeah,
that gets kidnapped. But either way, we'll see later. Obviously this is our first introduction to Cham Syndulla, who we see much later throughout the timeline and everything.
And I love that the Twi'lek senator only talks about like them starving, but he's a freaking fat dude.
He's so fat. He shows up later. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he's a bad guy or not. I kind of
no, he's not.
Okay, I thought that he did.
I remember the
later.
episode you're talking about.
But
like when you see the dude that's the bad guy, like before you even know, it's like, yep, that's probably the evil guy.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember, but yeah, I thought that was funny too. Actually, that the fat guy is talking about them starving. He does not like Cham Syndulla. I know that. I remember that they very much do not get along at all. Those 2 characters, even though they're like the 2 biggest leaders of Ryloth. But then Cham specifically mentions whenever General Dai, who's the Jedi, makes the plan to sacrifice himself and all of the clones in order to help Cham's escape, he's still mad that, like, the supplies aren't here. Like, the Republic promised us supplies. Why are you mad at him? Like,
yeah, he's fully aware that they're gonna die.
he literally is also not getting all the supplies, and it's his own side. Um, and then he's being nice and he's being courteous to you, let alone the fact that he's literally sacrificing himself and his troops' lives just so you can get out of there. Um, and then Chams won't even say like bye to him or anything, which I'm just like, wow, Chams sucks.
Yeah, I was really hoping since he was younger, he's gonna be a lot better.
Oh God,
But
no.
no, I still
No.
kind of
I remember not liking him actually the first time I watched the show, and I think I'm gonna like him a lot less watching the show now too, which
yeah,
is interesting because then he ends up with the rebels, stuff like that. Which
yeah, because like when I was watching Rebels, I'm like, okay, he's seen a lot of shit. That makes sense. But I'm like, okay, Clone Wars, it's like 27 years or something
hmm
earlier. I figured he'd be a lot more like hopeful.
No, he was more of a jerk then, I think, than he is in Rebels. Like I think he
Yeah,
kind of calmed down a little bit in Rebels. But either way, I've never been the biggest fan of him. He has his moments, but overall, I do not like that character, and this did not make me revisiting him. Did not make me like him at all. He's an arrogant, selfish, just he's a jerk. I don't think he has anything that redeeming other than the fact that yeah, he's leading the good guys, you know. But whatever.
yeah, I don't really like him.
Uh, But meanwhile, General Dai is literally doing the greatest deed a Jedi and anyone could do. Whenever
This,
he's making this plan, he's literally basically saying, "You get to escape. Me and my men die." That he tells
okay,
Captain Feely. Not I say Feely. It's Keely. He says Captain Keely. He's like, "Go tell the men." And he's like, "Okay." And
this
then
is
he
how,
tells them,
okay.
"Oh, like
I
all
was
right, they're
telling you
ready."
before we started recording. This is how I fucking see Jedi. This
This is
is
how
what
they
I.
should be. This is
This
why
is
it sucks that they aren't.
like he doesn't even like stop hope that the supplies are gonna get there, and he still goes like, okay, we're gonna go fucking die.
I think him, Obi-Wan, Mace, Kit, maybe Heathcloth are the only Jedi they can think of that I think of and say, yes, they were like everything they did, I think almost entirely I think was justified and like they never made like decision. No, not take out Obi-Wan. I was thinking just during the Clone Wars. Take it out. Where they always did the right thing. They always did the noble thing. They sacrificed themselves and everything. Don't take that as me saying that no Obi-Wan's a coward or anything. He's not, but he totally steps away from the conflict afterwards after they've lost, goes into exile and everything.
That's
Um,
that's honestly like one of the saddest deaths that's probably in the show.
but yes, dies.
Die
Um,
and Killy.
yeah, but wait. Before we get to that, though, we have to cover the last part of the other arc because this happens before that does.
Yeah.
Jar Jar stalls for the ships to get out with Bail Organa and everything, and they're at a dinner. My question is, why do they have a dinner in the room with windows facing like the airport
Yeah,
when they're trying to get ships
that
out?
is
I'm
a
like,
very good question. Why didn't the ships fly a different direction? This is
yeah.
also a good
Well,
question.
they did switch direction partway through, but it's like, how did they know to do that? Because they flew out by the other windows because they looked out the windows that Jar Jar was looking at. They're like, what are you looking at? And then one ship flew behind Jar Jar after that. It was like, how did they know to switch? But two, why did they even go in a room with windows if they were intentionally seeing that out? I don't know. But then there's also the question of why didn't they just leave? Because he could have been like either. So hear me out. Either Lot Dodd knew those shuttles were there because he saw them when he got there, and he would be like, "Wait a minute, where did those shuttles go?" Whenever he leaves, or he didn't see them whenever he came, and he would just like they could just be like, "Oh yeah, I have the shuttles that I was going to deliver supplies, but we're not allowed to, so we're just gonna leave now." How would Lot Dodd know where they're going? I mean, even if he knew like, oh, the way to get back to the Republic would be if they exited the atmosphere that way. But if they were going to Ryloth, they go that way. They could just get out of the atmosphere and then go the other way. Like, so I'm just saying there was a plot hole in terms of just why did they even bother with that? It's mainly because they just wanted to have a reason to have
Shout
Jar Jar
out
and
to like
stuff.
Jar Jar for distracting them by like throwing plates around and shit.
hmm
How did he do that?
I don't know. He's
He's force
actually
sensitive.
did
He's a
something.
Sith.
But yeah, also, why were they on a floating table that was like floating pretty high? Like
Yeah,
really high.
I'm watching. I'm like, this just seems inconvenient.
That's it.
Why
That's
does
like a
everything?
dangerous dinner. Like if you fall, it's just like, oh crap.
Yay, more food.
Oh gosh. But either way, getting to the good part, because as I said, I really don't care for that part of the episode. It's not that that part of the episode's bad, but there's two stories going on. One is one of my favorite parts of the Clone Wars, which is remarkable because it's a lot shorter than I remember it being. Not that I remembered it being long, but it had importance in my mind. Whereas it's honestly only like 15 minutes of footage. Maybe it's probably less. It's like 10 or less, in all honesty, because the episode itself is only like 22 minutes. So really, that's got to be at most 10 minutes or less that we see of that. But I remember that one of the most noble things because of the sacrifice that Dai makes, which we get to see him engage with his troops. Which, by the way, his clones look awesome. Their
Hmm.
paint, they don't have any special armor, but their paint is awesome, especially Captain Keeley, which is spelled Keeli. And they fight till the end. Keeley gets taken out by a bomb, and he's knocked out, and his helmet comes off, and all the clones are dying. Then it's just General Dai. He's fighting. He's about to, get shot down some more. And then Keeley gets up and starts shooting with him. Because you see ships and everything coming in at that point, and it's like, well, he's obviously going to die. There's nothing you can do. And then Keeley gets up and starts shooting and helps him out. And they're like, he's like, whatever. I forget what he says, but it's basically like, I'm glad, like, you're with me to the end. Because that was the only clone that he actually like looked at whenever he died. He thought he died. He
Yeah,
obviously wasn't dead yet.
yeah,
He
and
like
even
looked and he like, you could see like he was like, oh, like,
yeah, because even Keely's like, he's like,
damn.
yeah, man, let's do this shit.
And he's just like, oh, God, whenever he sees him die, but he turns out he's not dead. He gets up, he's like, I'm so glad you made it to the end. And he's like, yep, let's do it. It's not over yet. He's like, all right, let's make this worth dying for. Keeley gets shot several times, goes down. Dai gets shot several times, but he gets shot like once. Then he hears the call that the shipments are incoming. He sees the ships go above him, and then basically he's just like, yes, like it worked. Like, not only did my plan work, they are getting the supplies that he was so angry. Shamsadullah was so angry that he weren't getting, that he wouldn't even say goodbye to me when I'm about to sacrifice my life
I
for him.
like to think that General Dai was just sitting there thinking like, yeah, suck it. Like when the supplies came in.
Nah, he was definitely thinking, he was just like, no, because he's just not a jerk at all.
I know.
No, I know you're kidding, but like he's just such a god. He's literally probably the best Jedi just out there.
Dude, I love his species. Like their design's so awesome.
Yeah, they are cool. But then he gets shot down afterwards. He just starts, fighting at him, and then he gets shot many times, goes down, and that is the end of Ima Gun Dai. That's his name. Ima Gun Dai. Like that, his first name's Ima. His middle name is Gun. His last name is Dai, which is why he's called General Dai.
That's funny.
Yup.
That's clever.
It's IMA -GUN.
I'm a gun die.
DI. So that is his name. I'm a gun die. Which obviously he was meant to. His entire thing was to die. In all honesty, I feel like that whole like little plot thread was literally, there's no other point other than it sets up, John Shamsandula and everything and later. That's literally just to show that there are good Jedi and clones and that they sacrifice themselves. Like that had a major impact on me as a child, like seeing that. It was brutal seeing them die, because that was one thing that you just don't see anymore, is that they were dying on screen and everything. But the sacrifice, like that's one of the most heroic moments I would say in the series. And that really stuck out to me, and that says a lot because, like I said, there are several cool story arcs that last several episodes later. This was no more than 10 minutes of footage. And
Yeah,
the final battle itself, in all honesty, the important stuff is like 5 minutes, max. So that's literally just in there to show how heroic they are. Like, it's just for noble intent, and God, it worked. On me.
So their whole plan where they blew up the cliff to like block it off.
Uh-huh.
They said they were low on ammo. And they have
fuel.
like
They used fuel.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that it was the fuel for the transport because they were like, we could use the transport to get them out. Just kidding, they can't fit all of them. He's like, all right, let's just use all the fuel for that to destroy it as a bomb, to take out that cliff. So that did work.
I love how even Achilles like good plan, General.
Yeah,
Like
like it's not.
very like
Yeah, it's literally like we're about to commit suicide, and he's just like, "Good job." Like that shows just how dedicated both the Jedi are supposed to be and the clones are. I don't think there's ever a doubt that the clones, almost all, like literally 99% of them, are
99.
dedicated. There you go. But are all dedicated literally to the death. Like they do not even think for a second. They don't hesitate to die for the cause, which is just amazing. But it's very rare that you see a Jedi that intentionally is like, I don't get me wrong, there are Jedi that pull off like death-defying feats all the time, but
Anakin.
he was well aware of the fact that he was going to die. Like it wasn't like, oh, there's a good chance I'll die. Like no, he was going to die, and he didn't hesitate nothing for a second. He didn't think like, how can we do this and save everyone? How can I be the hero? That wasn't what he was thinking. He literally only cared about getting the people out, which is, wow. He is what the
Yeah,
Jedi Order should have been.
that's good shit.
Meanwhile, the Jedi Order is just garbage. So, just putting that out there. Something that I learned from the Clone Wars, that the Jedi Order sucks. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of Jedi, and I love the clones so much, which is why it bothers me so much with the whole Slick thing. I hated that, betraying, the clone, just starting out the traitor. Like, I hate that, because all the other clones are just amazing. Like, amazing. So, yeah, I think that's about it all. That's all I have for that episode. Do you have anything
Yeah.
else?
Not really.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. Like Dooku makes an appearance when he's meditating. I like how
Uh-huh.
they build him a seat just that rotates so he can be like a dick to people.
Yep. He
Like,
actually does that a lot throughout the series, if I remember correctly. Like, Dooku, is meditating whenever people come to see him, which I think is interesting that they give him that. Whereas that's very different from anyone else that we see basically as a bad guy. Don't get me wrong, we see Vader once in his meditation chamber in Empire Strikes Back, but in general, no, he's around killing people like crazy or commanding people like being a jerk. Whereas Dooku, he's just constantly like thinking and scheming. Like he never intended to be pure evil, so it's still showing him keeping up with his, meditation stuff like that. It's just interesting, I find it. But we'll get more into his character as the series goes on because he's a lot of interesting stuff too.
yeah, I like him.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is one of the biggest memories I have of the Clone Wars. What about you? Is it for you too?
The Clone Cadet one definitely was, but this one, yeah, it's up there now.
The clone was it not before? Did you not remember Die and
I did
everything?
not remember this. I did not at all.
Really? That's interesting.
I remembered what he looked like. I did not remember what happened to him though.
That's very interesting, actually. That's like, I mean, I remembered that more than I remembered the clone training
Because like
episode, which the clone
I
training
remember,
episode stood out to me like crazy, but this is
because
literally one
like
of my biggest memories.
at the very beginning of the episode when I was watching it today, I'm like, oh, I hope I get to see more of this guy.
Nope.
And
And I
like
kind of
10
knew
minutes
that
later, I'm
going
like,
in
oh,
because I remembered it being such a huge deal to me, but I'm like, I honestly don't think he did that much story-wise, like, other than what I remember, like his big heroic scene. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's gonna die in this episode, if I'm not mistaken. And I was right. You went exactly how
yeah.
I thought it was. Um, so yeah, that's about it for those two episodes. Um, Next week, so that was episode. What episode was that?
That was. What do you mean?
What episode was this week's like Holocron Herald? Is it
That was
16?
episode 16. So
So
episode 17
yeah, episode
is
17 will have. I'm stalling.
Ambush and Rising Malevolent. Or we might just do Ambush.
Ambush, and then there's Rising Malevolence, Shadow of Malevolence, and Destroy Malevolence. So
I rather
that's a
do some one,
3 episode arc. So I'm guessing we'll probably just do Ambush.
It's either like if Ambush is, I'll look into it. If Ambush isn't that important, we might just skip over it.
We would still include it in the episode, but we would just go super
Yeah, but
quick
like,
over
oh,
it.
here's
Like,
what happened real quick.
yeah, but yeah, then we'll definitely do Rising Malevolence, Shadow of the Malevolence, and Destroy Malevolence all in one because that's a character, that's an arc, obviously. So Yeah, that's about it for this episode. Make sure to subscribe to Nerdy Geek Talk on all your different places. I know you're listening on other places. In fact, YouTube's probably the lowest spot for this podcast. But if you are by chance listening on YouTube,
It makes me cry.
make sure
I
to like,
call it
comment, subscribe.
porn
As
morning.
podcasts aren't for YouTube. That's not what they're meant for. They're meant for
Yeah.
other places because it's audio.
Sorry, I'm educated.
But definitely iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, those places. You guys are subscribing, and I can tell that you guys, a lot of you subscribe for Steel City Bots and the other shows.
Yeah, what
you're
the hell?
listening, You're listening to this
What
now,
the
and
hell?
that's what matters. So, yes.
Like, I didn't realize that Transformer was a closer-knit community than Star Wars, but apparently.
The Transformers fandom has more people that don't suck. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding. There's a lot of people that don't suck in the Star Wars community. There's just a lot of people I hate in the Star Wars
Yeah,
fandom.
what the hell, guys?
Star Wars fans
Come
can
on.
just be terrible sometimes. But
Like, if you think I'm not laying in bed sometimes at night and I, like, check the subscriber count or something, I do. I really do.
I can share the stats for the actual podcast places. That'll make you feel better.
Thank you. God.
No, but I mean the point isn't for listeners because it's
Yes,
just
it
fun
is.
talk. No, I actually don't even care about listeners. As we've gotten more listeners for mainly the other shows, I care less and less. It's more about just I like to relax and talk about the things I like to keep
Don't
my
get me wrong.
sanity
I like the
sometimes.
rant, but
Yeah.
I want to sure people hear me rant.
But yeah, that's about it. If you want to find us on social media, there is no Holocron Herald specifically Twitter, but you can tweet at Nerdy Geek Talk, and we'll definitely see it there. You can also find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter, and you can find John at Darth, I believe _Forge, and then Lee,
Yeah.
what's your Twitter?
Darth_Sand66 in the
Yes.
description probably. There you go, Shay. Thanks.
Yep. And he's actually been checking the Twitter he'll respond to things and like things occasionally
I
and
do.
retweet the episodes.
My buddy Ross texted me. He's like, "Here, Luke. Here's a picture you can use as your profile."
So he's actually doing stuff. So someone should tweet at him. Tell him his opinions suck. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I hate myself a little less, and no, I'm not useless. Who's that guy that just followed me?
Oh, Diecast. That's
Diecast.
from Radio
I
Free
like you,
Cybertron.
Diecast. Like your stuff's all about Transformers, but at least you like give me some pity. That's fine. Shout out to Diecast.
Diecast I'll be actually probably rooming with at a convention later this year. But yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Fanfiction.
That's about it. Yeah, that's it. So bye.
Bye.